Well, good morning, sunshine. I hope that this finds you well rested and ready to kick off your Friday or wherever you're watching it in time. It's your daily insight on life and love for February 26th. Yeah, 26, 2021, also timeless. So wherever you're catching this, it could be relevant in your life. If not, stick around or let it fall away. You can ask questions about booking a session. All my services are included in the coronavirus sale, so go ahead, ask. See what might be right for you. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit the bell for notifications. This is sometimes entertaining. Not all the time, but sometimes. Yesterday was a really dramatic reading, so if you're new to the channel and you didn't check it out, oh my God, that's how it can get at times. Go check that out. It was February 25th, 2021. Anyway, so right now we're looking at, somebody's coming to your rescue. This is somebody who I'm really seeing as, it's like one mind, completely the same thoughts as you are having. It's almost like a psychic connection that's going on here. But I think that it's coming so out of left field that you are having the craziest time trying to guess what's going on with this. This is going to be something that happens fast, like bing, bang, boom, all done. This is a complete ending of a chapter. You are starting something new. And I do feel like it's in connection with this particular person. There's something that is being provided, whether it's security, like emotional security, or just keeping space for you. I think that this is going to be something where they give you space to come undone. Either that or you're giving them space. Somebody is giving somebody space so that they can just become unglued, because somebody has been carrying themselves all tightly wound up for far too long, and it's got to stop right now. This is not how you're going to start off the next chapter. There's a lot of dismantling of some sort of internal wiring right now, and I don't want you to be afraid of this. This is either you or them. Just be open to holding space and be open to somebody gifting you that space. This, oh wow, this is absolute synchronicity. Okay, it's really no coincidence that I've been going through the 12 universal laws, and every single stupid day is a day that's lining up with a universal law. Today I did the Law of Polarity. Yeah, it was Law 10. There's 2 more laws after this, and guaranteed, there's no more laws in the universe. No other way how things can work, right? But this is so cool. So check this out. Universal Law 10, the Law of Polarity. So this states, the Universal Law of Polarity states that everything has an opposite. Wouldn't you know it? It's also the law of mental vibration. This law assists us to learn and to discover that all things in life contain a solution, and in every perceived failure is a success. It's a success because you learned what not to do, and you saw what's not meant for you. It is a direction and a game changer, all of the above. So then we have what is important to understand with this law is that no matter where you are in your life right now, that in each of our life experiences and how we see them is the possibility and the ability to experience the polar opposite. According to this law, our lives have an unlimited amount of possibilities. And because of this, we can travel on our journey in any direction that we choose. Consciousness, the world, not even the world. Consciousness is your oyster. Consciousness is your a la carte. You can actively pick and choose what your experience is. It's really like an R.L. Stine, pick your adventure. Now, I just totally aged myself with that one. Go ahead. Fight me on that one. It's so ridiculous. But really, it is not a failure. Anything that you are doing in your life consciously or even drawing in subconsciously, because we know how that works, it's not a failure. Your consciousness, your perception of everything is an experience. And thus, it's kind of like working in Kelvin. You know, that degree model? Whether or not it's negative or positive, it is still that distance away from zero. It makes it all the more important. That is so awesome. So You coming unglued. How does that even look for you? It's not a negative thing, no matter how you try and spin it, because it's either a redirection or it's an actualization of some sort of situation in your life. That is so beautiful. And I was talking yesterday about if you're having a good time, enjoy that moment, because it's not going to last forever and you move on to the next moment. If you are in absolute anguish right now, just know that this can't last forever. The next moment will come. Everything is in this moment, and it's constantly drawing in the next moment, and it's constantly changing in that moment. So even where you are right now, the change begins right there. I know I'm going off on a tangent, but stay with me if you can, because I know sometimes I get lost myself. What are you going to do? Okay, this change that you're making. Can you hear the dog in the background? So this might be validation. I'm going to give credit to a wonderful client who pointed that out to me today, actually. So somebody's coming in to help. It's empowerment for you. And it's changing the game completely. I feel like you were just trying to get to zero. This is saying F0, we're going to go higher. We're going to go as high as the Empire State Building, or depending on where you are in the world. Whatever is the tallest building where you are in your country, that. So then set your sights higher in self-forgiveness. This is really talking about how you had the bare base just because that's all you thought that you had deserved in that. That's all that you thought that life would give you. That is pure settling. And while you would have achieved that and you would have been content, your soul would have been like calling out for more. It wouldn't have been satisfied with that. There would always be this feeling of something missing, something outside of you. Now, of course, we can always go towards the idea of there's really nothing outside of us. It all is inside of you, and then it gets mirrored. So let's look at that. You want to look at that? Are you ready? Come on. It's a fun adventure of introspection. Don't leave us alone with our thoughts. I'm just kidding. All right, so Spirit, since the internal and the external are mirrors, if we're going to take away the bare minimum and look for higher standards, what needs to be done inside? I want clarity on it. This is the final nail in the coffin. The internal work is, it's a playoff of yesterday. It's the rock bottom. It's scraping the rock bottom. It's being at the bottom of the cauldron, a very deep and vast cauldron, scraping up all of that gunk, getting the F out of Dodge with it. This is not the best times, but obviously when we are in a better space, we can look back and be like, you know, those hard times were the most beautiful. It showed me how strong you could be, how perseverant you are. It shows you how boss you are. But we're not exactly at that point. Or maybe you are. Maybe this is something that has just come to pass with you. And that is absolutely beautiful in itself. If this hasn't happened yet, just know it's going to be fleeting. It's going to be something that is like, boom, boom, because you're going to recognize it. You're surrendering to it. It's not going to get worse. And it's not going to stay here either. I got to tell you, because when I was, and I know so many others, when you are at that rock bottom, that lonely place, and just it doesn't feel like there's hope, and it's like it's never going to get out, and just there gets to the darkest point where you don't see the crack of the light on the horizon. It becomes this gray fog that is hanging in the air, and you can't really see if it's actually your imagination hoping or if it's an actual light coming from the other side. And this is saying, just sit there with it. Sit there in that moment and let the gray start to get lighter and lighter. And until you can start to see that little bit of the sun peek over the horizon, where it's just starting to go in little bumps and curves, and it almost looks like it dips back down and then it starts to rise up in the air. Let the dark be lightened up by something outside of yourself while you sit and work through your wounds in the rock bottom, because I do feel like the communication that's happening inside of you is saying, it's figuring out why this is so dark, what put you in this position, and also, hang on, who and what this involves in getting away from. You can't be in the throes of whatever that toxicity is and still be healing this. This is saying, I really feel that it's getting away from the mindset of who or what this is involving. And it's also getting away from the situation. When you get sober from something, whether it's a substance or a situation or a person, you can't be in those crowds. You can't be with those people. You can't be in those situations because it's keeping you stuck. So that's where this helpful person comes in. It's you saying, okay, I know that I need help. And that vulnerability is a reflection of the internal vulnerability with yourself that you had to have. It's like, okay, I surrender, and spirit is like, as you wish. And in comes whatever divine messenger it is. It could be a piece of paper. It could be an absolute, Archangel Michael, for God's sakes. It could be as big as that. It's very specified towards you. So, let's see. This is magnificent. Spirit, what is the guidance as we have been doing the mirroring and the sitting with the rock bottom, the inner monologue, the checking in? Oh, you're taking the blinders off and seeing that there's nothing standing in front of you. Oh, wow. Okay. A lot of anxiety coming up, either that or a lot of disassociation coming up. It's some sort of heavy emotion like that. Don't get caught on those two, but those are the two main ones I'm feeling. It's coming up with a totally different environment, yet old feelings are rising up, and it's similar environmental conditions or situations that you have been in before. And now your little alerts are going off and you're like, why am I doing this? So when you catch those red flickers, those alarms going off, it's something where, okay, wait, hold on, what's happening? And you can see that you're in a different situation, but also this is going to have you reflect back on the previous situations and pull away from those. These are old wounds that you are clearing out. Absolutely, maybe as long as time or as long as you can remember, or maybe even old memories are coming up. Jump into that. Face it head on. The biggest thing about a nightmare, which this feels like an internal nightmare, is when you face a nightmare, it has absolutely nothing to work with. When you fight it, it has nothing to back it up. And this is a power of the mind in this. And you are fighting back against old nightmares. It dissipates right in front of you. And then, then you wake up. You are waking up because you're facing it. Either that or you did just face it or you're about to face it. Do not let the about to face it hit you in a negative way. Because again, if this reading is upsetting you or terrifying you, understand you can let it fall away. If a reading is leaving you terrified or if the reader isn't clicking with you, that's not your read and that is not your time. It's not you just not wanting to hear it. Don't let yourself be afraid of that, because there's always a way through this. You're never going to be left alone in that pain. And there's always hope. There's always everything that's going to be okay. And if it's not okay right now, it will be eventually, and we'll have the guidelines on how to get there. Keep that in mind when you are listening to any reader out there. Not every Tom, Dick, and Harry reader out there is going to be meant for you. Follow your inner guidance on it. So, huge investment coming in right now. Huge investment with you. And look, I feel like it's excitement. I feel like it's an upswing in your energy. I also feel like this is going to be something where you have like a restless spirit that's going on. You are that restless energy. You have such high hopes and high drive and momentum moving forward. You aren't going to know what to do with it. There needs to be a channel for that energy that's coming in for you. So this is saying, okay, lots of fighter going on, one thing after another. You need to compose some sort of to-do list, like a laundry list for people's BS and moving on in life and creating the next step. This is going to be one step at a time. It's not going to be that, blunt work. It's going to be, this change is happening fast, but the channeling of it is going to have to be something that is drawn out. You really have to hone in your energy on this. And it's going to be something where, okay, I have this done. Now I can move on to this. Your passion is not going to dwindle. I think that that's a major fear of yours in, getting into this, but it's not. It's not going to dwindle. You have to follow whatever that passion is. This is going to be the main thing that keeps you driving and on track. It's so important that you follow this passion, because that is what's keeping you on track here. On track to what? I don't know. I don't even want to make a horrible joke with that. So let's see. What are you on track to? You, the viewer. A very busy life. Constant state of busyness, constant to do, constant working on something. You're not bettering yourself. There is no bettering you. You're wonderful as you are. This is working on, I want to say, some form of a substance with you. Whatever you deem to be something that holds you back. It's really important that you're a lot more compassionate and caring and nurturing with yourself. I don't want you to beat yourself up for being stuck in some sort of headspace for so long. It's not going to be conducive. And then look, it has to hold people accountable for how they have behaved in your life. And if they're not willing to hold themselves to whatever that accountability, kick them to the curb. Who the heck are they to do that to your life? Obviously, I'm not telling you to kick away legal responsibilities such as minor children. Let's be very clear on that, because I know that that's probably somebody's story out there. No. Look, you got to stop wondering who's watching you. There's a lot of paranoia in this. Not every Tom, Dick, and Harry out there is watching you. There's people who would love to see you fail, but I think that they have their own stuff that's going on right now, and you're not even going to care moving forward. What's waiting for you? Not giving a flying F what anybody thinks or says about you. So look, you're getting out of the hangman position. I do feel like you are getting your feeling for life back, your excitement. And I also feel like you're getting out of that dark place. And I think that it took you so long to get here. So I'm going to close this reading off with a spirit message. I'm getting a really strong pull to do that tonight. Yeah, this one. Dearest you, we here on the other side have one important thing to declare. Love is the answer to literally everything. If you're like me, I would love some people to stay far, far away. However, I digress. Okay, we don't necessarily mean romantic or erotic love, although they are wonderful. But something above and beyond that. Everything alive in the world was first created by love. Spirit sends love to animate life and to birth it into creation. Love is without conditions, and it is based in reverence and is a fierce and joyful respect for life. Okay. Love thrives when you focus on it, and we don't. And we want you to turn away from anything that causes it to wane. Love is when you no longer see yourself as other, separate from, better or less than, etc. When you act as love, you give permission to the world to thrive and grow in it as well. Can you let go of what is not love and ask, what would love do? Love is waiting for you, always and forever. We just adore and love you from over here. Love, Spirit. I really hope that this made sense. I'll see you guys for the next reading. Enjoy the rest of your Friday or wherever you're watching this in time. If you have questions about booking a session, email address below or on any social platform, reach out and DM me. So I look forward to speaking with you. Go rock this. You know this doesn't end at midnight. And until next time, stay safe, have fun, and know that you are greatly loved and appreciated. Bye for now. If you're catching this could be spirit message for you. No matter what this change that you are to make, because there's so many ways that this could go, you've got to be prepared for something to be uncomfortable. It doesn't mean that you're making the wrong choice. It means that you have to get used to stuff being unconventional. It's really going to challenge you and make you wonder, did you make the wrong choice? There's no wrong choice in this. There's nothing to be had in any of the other directions. You are in the moment making this, having your reality. If you go back and have any of those, it's going to be the right decision because you are in that moment in reality. No matter what, you got to not care about who you're upsetting on this one, who is watching you and who doesn't like you in this one. You got to be completely true to yourself on this one, your heart and soul, pulling and calling, belonging, all of those things. This is saying you have to make that decision for yourself, the emotional decision for yourself. Screw what anyone else thinks. This is your life, your perspective. Hope that made sense. And obviously I'm not condoning anything illegal. So that in mind, stay safe, have fun, and rock it. It's important that you let other people know that you are, feeling very new, maybe even naive. I'm not calling you naive. There might be a feeling of that in this through you though. And it's important that you communicate that to the other people involved because it looks like people are hanging on to your every word. And it's this whole fake it till you make it, which does not work. This, you could be completely, clear, transparent. This is really talking about having solution to any perceivable problem in this and not being afraid of the bumps and bruises. All right, so the guide is talking about represents the nature of the divine and in yourself and in life. You are lighting your own way on this one. Use the divine light and intuition and guidance to pull you on this one. You're going to learn as you go along, but let other people know that you are learning as you are going along. If you try and pull one over on them, you're going to hurt yourself, you're going to hurt them and all credibility, and you are worth so much more than that. So I hope that made sense. Stay safe, have fun. The good news is there's a lot of people who want to get you to this higher position in your life, whether it's a personal position or career, maybe even school, whatever your step up is. There are people who want to help you. You have financial security coming in. You have, it really looks like the opportunity opening up. What you've set yourself out for, I think it might change, but I also feel like this change is going to be of a higher standard, a higher ability. You're going to get an upgrade in this next step for yourself. And this is where I really feel like you're going to kick yourself because it's like, okay, wow, I really lowballed it. Why did I do that to myself? Why didn't I think that I could handle this? You are so magnificent, sensational, beautiful, and capable. Say yes to the opportunity that's coming up. Say yes to the upgrade. This is meant to help you, and I really hope that made sense. You're ready. Stay safe, have fun.